How y'all doing today? Welcome back. So, let me move this out the way. I gotta really fix this. But, how y'all doing? Um, I got an interesting thing to talk about today. So, it's about tolerating certain behavior from other people. So, sometimes you're in situations where you feel like you have to bite your tongue because you know you feel like it's not necessarily that big a deal, and in your mind you're thinking like it's not that big a deal. You're making a bigger deal about it than what it is. But the more that you say that, the more that the more that you're allowing it to be acceptable to tolerate people disrespecting you because you feel like it's not that big a deal. And then the more that you allow, the bigger a deal it becomes. Like if you're at work, for example, I'm at work and certain people bring their grumpy attitudes and try to disrespect me, and they act rude. They put their cart. They put like I'm moving the carts and I'm bagging groceries. So like when I move the carts, people bring their carts outside, and they like you tell them that like they see you, and they see the uniform that you have on to know that you're the one handling the carts. Like you wave at them, they see you. You guys are looking at each other eye to eye. They see you. They're waving them. You're waving at them. Bring it here. Bring it here. And then they look away, and then they just push it back. Or they leave it over there. Or they leave it in a space that's nowhere close to you. Unless you say, hey, come here, sir. Come here. No. I mean here. Come here. And sometimes they're just like, or you tell them to put it somewhere else because you're trying to do a certain thing. You're trying to put a certain amount of carts at once. You don't want to do too much. Sometimes you tell them to put it in another spot, another aisle that's close by. You tell them to put it there. And sometimes they just put it in right where you are anyways. And you tell them clearly, can you please put it over there? No, sir, can you please put it over there? And then they just go away. And the thing is you're not trying to make a big fuss out of it because it's not that big a deal. You can just put it over there. Like it's not that big a deal. It's just pushing cars and stuff. But after a while, you just like, can you please be a little more respectful of, what I'm trying to do and the work that I'm putting in? Can you please be more respectful? Even though it is a menial job, it's not that hard a job, but still, you don't have to like you could be a little more courteous and a little more respectful about how you go about things. And there's sometimes when people just leave stuff, or they just put it like way away from any aisle, and you got to go all the way to go get it. But then in my mind I'm saying like, it's not that big a deal. It's like, It's not that hard to do. You can just go get the car. It's like I'm thinking of what y'all would be thinking in that situation. I'm thinking like, why are you making a big deal about it? All you have to do is just move it there. I'm already thinking that in my head, and it frustrates me that would be the response I would get from if I were to say this to other people. It frustrates me that would be the response that I would get. Like, I understand that it's an easy job, but it's also an exhausting job too. It's a physical job that will get you moving and get you. Them carts are not easy to maneuver either. Trust me. But after a while, you get tired. It's like, and it's not even about the carts. It's about, or if you're bagging and people are just rude. Like, you could say it in a better way. You could be more respectful about the way that you go about things. They're like, no, you're doing this, you're doing that. No, can you please do this, please? Thank you, thank you. It's not even about what they say. It's about how they say these things. It's about how they say it. You could come a little more respectfully. You know, like these are simple things. These are simple tasks. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter what the task is. You could come at it giving 110%. You could come at it being respectful. You could come at it doing what you need to do, regardless of what it is, and come at it with more class than what you do. And some people just make a whole bunch of noise. They're just in the way, make a bunch of noise, put stuff in the way, just be out of there, you know. And it's like, yeah, what's new? Welcome to the real world type stuff. It's always the same. It's always the same cliched responses that you get. It's always the same bull, the same stuff that conditions you to think that it's not a big deal. It's the same stuff that conditions you to think that it's not a big deal. Because in similar situations, you've discussed it, and people have told you, like, it's not that hard, it's not that difficult, it's not that bad. Like, you're thinking it way too much. You're overthinking it. You're doing way too. You're like, it's not that serious. Or anyone could do that job. Like, like if they did that for you, then why would you need the job in the first place? Blah blah blah, all that stuff. But there's a lot of simple jobs out there that it doesn't matter what it is. Like, doesn't give anybody an excuse to be disrespectful and be an ass and be rude. Like, it doesn't give people an excuse, and that's partially probably why they do it, is because they may be like, oh, this is beneath me. This is an easy job. I can do that. I'm on to more difficult, more prestigious jobs, more advanced jobs. So this, I like. Don't even waste my time talking to me. But I do see some people look at me up and down sometimes, when I'm doing jobs. So I'm like, and I'm not even trying to look too far into it like that, but like, I know that certain people do that, and like, that's out of my control. Honestly, that's out of my control. But I I do my best to stay in what I can control, and it's hard sometimes. I try my best to not let people take advantage of the fact that you know I'm working for somebody else, so they may feel like this or that, and how they always say the customer's right, you know and you get in trouble. Like, there's nothing you can really do, and And it's not just at work. It's like in other situations where um, you have people telling you, you have people trying to tell you that sometimes what is going on with you is not that big a deal, and it's frustrating if a lot of people that you talk to will tell you that it's not a big deal, and like you get conditioned to the point where you're just like, you kind of feel like, you know, it's okay, it's all good, I mean, it's not that big a deal. I can just put it in myself, or I could just do that. Like, yeah, maybe they're having a bad day. No, it doesn't give them an excuse to be an ass. It doesn't, and none of that does. Doesn't matter how little it is. It's not even about the physical. It's not about the physical stuff. It's about the principle. Like, if you want to be respected, so give respect to other people. And when I go out there, I do my best to smile, to say hi to everybody, be smile at everybody, help everybody that I can, be positive, show up, do what I have to do, stay focused, grind hard. I do what I need to do that's in my control, and I give respect to others. I just hope that they do the same for me. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. I don't like when people try to take advantage of if you might be kind, you know. And that's another thing. I believe myself to be a kind-hearted person. I don't like when people say that they're a certain way when they say they're a certain way, but their actions show that they're not. I believe myself to be a kind-hearted person that deserves respect. I give respect to other people, you know. But the only thing that may not be the most respectful is, my procrastination may cause, you know, but I'm working on being being on time within my life. I'm working on that. But I feel like, you know, I give respect to people. I give respect to people, and I just want them to do the same thing to me. Do the same thing for me, you know. Um, and I was just gonna mention, like, kindness. They take kindness for weakness, you know. Certain things I see where they're always like, nice guys finish last, or kind people get disrespected, or whatever it is. The way that they put it, they make the kind person seem to be like they into like a villain. Like, you can be a kind person and not tolerate BS from other people. You know, it doesn't have to be either or. Or you could be a kind person and roast people and laugh at people and laugh with people. You can be a kind person and, not tolerate disrespect. You could be a kind person and not get taken advantage of. You could be a kind person and stay to yourself and be honest with people. You know, being a kind person doesn't always mean that you get disrespected, that you get taken advantage of, that you just act goofy, that you just act like the stereotypical what they think a kind person is, or a good guy. Like, you don't have to be that. You know, um, I'm trying to be the best of both. You know, I don't want to be that kind person that's all like that just puts myself on the ground just for people to walk over them. That's not who I aspire to be, and that's not who I'm going to be. But I'm also not gonna be the disrespectful dude who just hurts people and makes people feel bad, or just is just disrespectful to everybody, or just that is just a douche. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be either. I'm gonna be the kind of person that's kind to people who is kind to him. Give the energy that is given to him. And if you're giving me disrespectful energy, well, best of luck to you. You're not gonna be around you're not gonna be in my space. You're not gonna be in my space. It's frustrating because me and my friends are like, I don't know, like we focus on how we can get better for the future and how we can improve ourselves, and not, you know, not being foul and disrespectful, and not, you know, saying F these chicks and F this and F that, and, whatever y'all think that guy is, It's it's really about just being respectful to others. As cliche as this sounds, but treat others the way you want to be treated. Give give reciprocal energy, and you know stay focused on you. I believe I'm a good person, and I don't even like saying it, because then it's like the people that say it, the people that feel like they need to say it, are the ones that really aren't that. They just want to have people see it, but the way my actions portray is what it is. And regardless of what goes on in my life, I'm not gonna let nobody change. I'm not gonna let nobody change me. I'm not gonna let nobody take that away from me. I don't care what's going on. I don't care who doesn't like it. You know, they always like to talk about what girls like and what they don't, what they do like and what they don't like. You know, I'm not even. I honestly don't care about I honestly don't care about the ones that don't like me. I'm focused on the ones that do. And the ones that don't, they clearly show me that they're not just meant to be in my life that long. Like, so why should I care what they think if they're not, you know, if they're not going to treat me with respect, and they're going to show that they may think, you know, oh, he's short, or he's ugly, or he's this, or he's that, or blah, 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 you know, it don't really matter to me, because I'm not going after them anyway. So why should I care what they think about me if I'm not even interested in them going in their direction? That's not important to me. What's important to me is building myself up the way that I need to be built, or building myself up in a way that um, in which I can achieve or I can get the things that I want. You know, at the end of the day, like I can't control what people think about me. You know, if people think I'm short, or if they think I'm this or I'm that or whatever, that's fine. My height is something I can't control, and I'm always gonna say this. I'm always gonna say this, that I will tell you guys that when I was this isn't something I can control anymore, but when I was a baby, I was um I was really sick. I was on a, you know, for the first 9 months I was on track to be maybe a 6 footer or so. And then possibly maybe 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot at most, like 6'1" or so. But that's what my doctors were saying. But I had failure to thrive, so I ended up um, I ended up being allergic to everything, getting sick, types of stuff, and I had hypothyroidism, which stunted my growth, and it caused me to be, you know, a lot shorter than what I was supposed to be. And then, they had to have me on medicine for years, and I was really sick. They had to put me on different medicines to make sure that my brain functions properly and to make sure that, you know, I still stay on track to, to be a normal child, to develop physically and mentally. So, I had to have I had to have a trip at the children's hospital every year until I was 18. And I had to go to the pediatrician, obviously, to get shots for it also. But for the most part, I'm just saying I had my growth stunted. It's not something I can control. I couldn't control that either, so I'm just gonna say I could have been tall. I could have been tall. I could have been tall. I got my growth stunted. So so the reason I am this, I accept it now. But the reason I am this short is not because of it's not because of what is it? It's not because of genetics. So I'll just say that. But that's obviously something I can't control. So if people may not like me because of something that I can't control, like, oh well, like, that's tough luck for them. That's a loss for them. Like, why should I really care at the end of the day? Why should I care? 'Cause it's another story if I didn't like a lady because she was too heavy. You know, that's a tough subject, And a lot of ladies wouldn't allow you to say anything like that. It's like taboo to mention their weight. But it's not to mention a man's height, though. A man's height is something that he can't control. I mean, obviously, you can control it by, by eating, you know, by working out, eating, and stuff like that. But that's the best. But, like, there's only so much that a man can like grow. After a certain point, then he just can't grow anymore. But with the height fluctuates. The height goes from here to here to here to here to here. Like you can, I mean, the weight, not the height. The weight goes from here to here. You can control how much you weigh. It might be tough for some people, but it's a lot easier than someone's height, than changing someone's height. That's something that you can control. And I'm not saying if you go to the gym and you're having trouble, that's one thing. But if you're just a certain weight and you just don't even try, you can't be mad. You can't be mad at someone for mentioning it. You can't be mad at that because, like, doesn't make sense. We're never mad at y'all for mentioning our height and stuff because, like, we understand at a certain point, we don't grow very much. But you could always lose weight and you could always gain weight. But at the end of the day, you do what you want. Just don't tolerate any BS from people. Don't let them make you feel less than, or don't let them, like, it's certain conditioning that we have inside of us that we've been told for years by family, by people we know, by the media, blah blah blah, that tells us certain things aren't that big a deal, or tells us that this is this, when maybe what they were saying might not have been the best advice to give, while at the same time you had to learn for yourself that maybe something worked and something didn't, and maybe what they said didn't work, so you had to try something yourself. They were giving good advice, and maybe they went through, but maybe you didn't necessarily have to go through that to learn it. So, people go through different things, and people feel and heal differently. And what you find is a big deal may not be a big deal to other people. But you can't let what people say in your mind condition you to feel the limitations of what they feel, and to allow it to be okay to accept certain things, because most people will tell you that it's not that big a deal, but it is what it is. Sometimes these videos are too long, but I'm just like, sometimes I gotta get it out. Sometimes there's stuff in my mind that I have to talk about that I gotta get out. If I don't get it out, then I'm just gonna be frustrated. So, I don't ever try to accept stuff from people, but there's certain things where, like, the best thing to do is to bite your tongue. Like, I'll just say that. The best thing to do right there is to bite your tongue. Because you don't want to say something that you're going to end up regretting, or that's going to cost you a lot. Sometimes it's tough. I'm not trying to follow other people, but I also don't want to just come out a certain way. Like, you got to pick your battles. You got to pick whether you want to go this route or go this route. Whether you want to be disrespectful or you want to just be honest and pick another time to do it. Peace.